Kesjaz Castle, nestled in the dense forests of Lower Silesia, Poland, had always been shrouded in mystery. Built in the 13th century, the castle had witnessed centuries of war, power struggles, and unspeakable tragedies. Locals whispered that the castle was cursed, haunted by the restless spirits of those who had suffered and died within its cold stone walls. But few truly believed the stories, until the night when the truth revealed itself in all its horrifying glory. Isabella, a young historian with a passion for uncovering the secrets of the past, arrived at Kesjaz Castle on a crisp autumn evening. She had been granted permission to stay at the castle for a month to research its history. The idea of spending so much time alone in a place with such a dark reputation thrilled her. She was determined to uncover the truth behind the rumors of hauntings. As she drove up the long winding road that led to the castle, the sun dipped below the horizon. By the time she arrived at the castle gates, the only light came from the full moon, which hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the ancient stone fortress. Isabella parked her car and stepped out, her breath visible in the chilly air. The castle loomed before her, a dark silhouette against the night sky. She could feel the weight of history pressing down on her, the sense that she was stepping into a place where time had stood still for centuries. She was greeted by Marek, the castle's caretaker, an elderly man with a hunched back and piercing blue eyes. He spoke little as he led her through the castle's vast, echoing halls to her room. The castle was cold, the air heavy with the scent of damp stone and decay. "This is your room," Marek said, his voice low and gravelly. "I'll leave you to settle in. If you need anything, my quarters are down the hall. But I must warn you, do not wander the castle at night. There are things you do not want to encounter." Isabella spent the evening unpacking her belongings and setting up her research materials. The room was sparsely furnished with a large four-poster bed, a wooden desk, and a fireplace that had not been lit in years. As she settled into bed that night, the castle was deathly silent. Isabella had always loved the quiet, but this silence felt different, oppressive, as if the castle itself was holding its breath, waiting. Despite the chill in the air, she soon drifted off to sleep. She was awoken in the early hours of the morning by a faint sound, barely more than a whisper. At first she thought it was the wind, but as she listened, she realized it was a voice. A woman's voice, soft and mournful, calling her name. "Isabella!" Her heart began to race. She sat up in bed, her eyes straining to see in the darkness. The voice came again, closer this time. "Isabella!" The sound seemed to be coming from the hallway outside her room. Against her better judgment, she threw off the covers and crept to the door. She opened it just a crack and peered out into the dimly lit corridor. The hallway was empty, but the voice continued, now clearer than before. "Isabella, come to me." She couldn't explain why, but she felt compelled to follow the voice. She stepped into the hallway, the stone floor cold against her bare feet. The voice led her through the winding corridors of the castle, down narrow staircases and past locked doors. Finally, the voice led her to a small, forgotten room deep within the castle. The door creaked open on its own as she approached, revealing a chamber that had not been disturbed in centuries. The walls were lined with shelves filled with dusty old books and cobweb-covered relics. In the center of the room was a large, ornate mirror, its glass clouded with age. Isabella approached the mirror, her reflection barely visible in the dim light. As she stared into the glass, the voice whispered again, this time from directly behind her. "Isabella, help me.